Chamber in Economic Development partnered with the Center on Rural Innovation to create a plan to position our region for a new economy. For generations, our area has been manufacturers, stone cutters, slate companies requiring hard-working, dedicated employees. The global economy has shifted and will continue to transition to automated, technology-enabled job creation. Through StartUp Rutland, we're developing infrastructure that will support tech-enabled cultures of work to flourish. We are diversifying and positioning ourselves to support careers that are high skill, high paying, high demand. StartUp Rutland will drive that success forward.
When I first pitched the idea of bringing a franchise accelerator to Rutland, Vermont, through partnering with gener8tor, one of the largest accelerators and venture funds, I knew it was a bold vision, but also knew it was a vision that would shape the future of our community. At StartUp Rutland, our mission is clear: to support Vermont-based tech-enabled founders and startups and attract and retain talent on a national scale. StartUp Rutland's accelerator, powered by gener8tor, will support up to 5 teams, each cohort, providing them with the tools, resources, and mentorship needed to thrive and succeed. When selecting startups, we focus on 4 key criteria. Can they succeed in Vermont? Can we genuinely help them? Can they support Vermont? And does their idea and team have sustainability and defensibility to thrive? Additionally, I'm establishing Rutland's first venture capital fund, RDF Ventures, to ensure our founders have access to funding and support to succeed and scale locally.
The narrative around startups has been evolving. While big cities have been, traditionally where startups have been the focus, there's clearly a shift toward recognition of what small rural communities can offer for entrepreneurs. And I'm really excited to see what StartUp Rutland can do for the Rutland region and Vermont.
2 to 3 years ago, I met a traveling nurse. Her name's Kayla, and we sat down and spoke about the issues in healthcare training. And that's when I first heard about a crash cart. And I was interested in doing something in XR because I just thought it was a cool technology. And I thought healthcare would be like a good space just because there's just so many issues. And yeah, I heard about the crash cart and it seemed like low-hanging fruit because it seemed like something I could do. So then literally over the next 2 weeks, I just sat down like 14 hours a day and built a prototype on a Quest 2. And then I started like showing it to some medical professionals and they thought it was kind of cool. And then it kind of just started like snowballing from there. I got this office and I hired a couple interns, and then all of a sudden Mike started working for us and Dylan, and we kind of like grew as a company and built a team, and then that's kind of when it really started like taking off, because as a team we were able to actually accomplish more.
It's really important when we recognized that this type of facility was missing. And in past experiences looking at how do you help support an entrepreneurial culture, you started with having to have the infrastructure.
StartUp Rutland will be a game changer for sparking new ideas, or maybe even breathing life into old ideas that just needed that critical support level, and be able to offer mentorships, that peer-to-peer learning, a really nice space to come to work where you can see those ideas fold and be turned into businesses. The capital investment that is required to bring an idea to scale.
With the collective effort of my team at the Chamber and my team and partners at gener8tor, we're creating something truly transformative. We see Rutland not just as a city, but as a launchpad for innovation.
Rutland is ripe for revitalization through entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship creates new business creates new jobs stimulate the economy and provides meaningful growth for Rutland and Vermont.
Above all, we don't just want to invest in ideas. We want to invest in people who genuinely want to make a difference. Because at the end of the day, that's what drives innovation and change.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here today. My name, once again, if you missed it in the video, is Mose Cassaro. I'm from New York, so I'm a bit of a fast talker. I'm going to try my best to slow it down a little bit today like I did in the video. I've been fortunate enough to wear a couple of hats here at StartUp Rutland, as well as at gener8tor. I've been in the startup and venture ecosystem for close to about a decade now, both as a founder, as an investor on the accelerator side as well. At StartUp Rutland, I'm the director here, and at gener8tor, I'm the program partner and program manager. I might be a team of one at StartUp Rutland. However, this would not have been possible without my extended team at the Chamber, as well as at the Hub Coworks, providing me with all sorts of logistical, operational, and sometimes financial support. So just round of applause for my team at the Chamber and the Hub. I would also like to take a moment to thank our founding members, board members at StartUp Rutland's board, Mark Foley, Rick Guile, Lyle, Shayna, Caitlin, and Tyler. This would not have been possible without their support either. And obviously, my extended team at gener8tor, providing me with all sorts of programming and venture-related support. So a little bit about gener8tor here. We have a little over 120 employees currently. So the origin story of gener8tor, essentially, it was founded in 2012 by Joe and Troy, the founders of gener8tor. They were both working as attorneys in the venture capital space, where they firsthand recognized some gaps in the market. Namely, that 80% of all venture capital funding went to the top 3 states, the major tech hubs, New York, California, and Massachusetts. They also recognized that the traditional venture capital approach typically overlooks founders that do not fit those profiles coming from larger schools and larger cities. And most importantly, they realized that these startups outside of major tech hubs suffered from both lack of efficient startup capital as well as lack of support from mentorship. To be able to tackle that, they built gener8tor. And how we do that is through a robust ecosystem of programming. As you can see here, our flagship accelerator or our investment accelerators, these are nationally ranked accelerator programs. These are 12-week programs, and we invest $100,000 into 5 teams in each of these programs. We also have our free accelerator program, which is the gBETA and the gAlpha program. This is a 7-week program where no investment is made. This is a pre-accelerator that we ran here at StartUp Rutland as well. In addition to that, we also focus on corporate programming. We have our Corporate Innovation Network, as well as the gener8tor Conference Series that we run every year. And lastly, we have a skills accelerator where we upskill folks looking for jobs. We run one of these with Microsoft, and we also have a host of creative accelerators. Here's a quick snapshot of our current stats. Like I mentioned, founded in 2012, we operate a little over 240 accelerators similar to this one every year. We are currently in 46 different communities, and we have accelerated over 1,500 startups. These startups have collectively gone on to raise a little over $2 billion, having created around 11,000 jobs. I'm not going to bore you guys with the fund metrics, but for those of you who understand, there's the DPI and our IRR at the bottom as well. Here's an overview of our current programming locations. As you can see, there's a little blip up in Vermont. This is the first time gener8tor has entered the Northeast through the Chamber and StartUp Rutland. Some of the other programs you see down on the East Coast are actually skills accelerators. So we're the only startup accelerator that gener8tor operates on the Northeast, which enabled us to get applications from a pretty large pool, candidate pool as well. And you can see we have some international programs as well. We're continuing to work on our global expansion. I've been fortunate enough to help gener8tor with a lot of programs locally, as well as the Luxembourg program and the program in Italy. Here's a quick look at our syndication partners. These are over 1,600 entities that we both collaborate with. In some markets, we run similar programs in collaboration and partnership with them. There's names like Microsoft, Intel, AT&T, and many more. If you are here and you represent a corporation and you would like to chat about innovation or economic development, I would be happy to connect over that as well. Now, finally, before we get into the pitches tonight, I wanted to take a moment to thank our mentors. This program would not have been possible without the support of our mentors, both in the venture capital world as well as founders who have been operators. I would also like to take a moment here to thank folks that have built the Vermont's economic development, as well as mostly the venture and startup ecosystem, namely Corin Cross and the entire team at Fresh Tracks, David Bradbury at VSET, as well as Lauren Bass at Launch VT. They have been tremendously helpful to me every step of the way, and I could not be more grateful to be a small part of Vermont's startup ecosystem. And with that, I'm excited to announce our cohort. Like Lyle mentioned, please pay close attention to today's pitches. Everyone's going to have a chance to vote for an Audience Choice Award. We had 5 startups that went through our current cohort: Aprexis, Skin Genius, Calf Oven, Tacitly, and Brightwater Tools. Tacitly is currently in conversations exploring a potential early acquisition, so we've decided to let them focus on that piece and not have them here today. So we're going to have 4 companies pitching today, and with that, please help me welcome Rob Squire, the co-founder of Aprexis Health from Montpelier, Vermont.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Rob Squire. I'm a co-founder of Aprexis. And Aprexis is a medication therapy management company. We serve as a bridge between health plans and their patient members. We help them optimize those medication therapies to find better health outcomes and cost savings. It's been a very busy year for us at Aprexis. We finished the year at $200,000 this year in revenue, and we have been awarded business that we hope to end the year at $5 million. We've been busy building out the team, improving the product, finding clients, finding partnerships, and so I'm very pleased with where we're sitting right now. So this process of medication therapy management is absolutely vital in today's healthcare environment because of the rise in chronic disease, the rise in our aging population. There is an absolute explosion in medication usage in this country. And payers, whether that is your health plan, Medicare, Medicaid, your employer, are paying for this medication. So they hire companies like Aprexis to get involved with the patient, to look at that medication therapy and look at it and see, is there an opportunity for deep prescribing? Is there an opportunity for a more therapeutic alternative, a more cost-effective alternative? Are there drug-drug interactions going on? Are there drug-food interactions? Are you having any adherence issues that are keeping you from staying on track with your medication? And we provide coaching to get you back on track. And that's the process of medication therapy management. We offer it as a product and a service. We have a software platform for those customers who have this done in-house with their own pharmacists. They license our technology. And for clients who look to outsource this completely full service, we have a full service offering where we provide not only the technology, but also our network of consulting pharmacists to engage with the patient. We're doing pretty good. I'm very proud of the company. I'm really proud of where we're sitting today. We are the primary vendor for MTM services for Wisconsin Medicaid. We are the exclusive vendor of MTM services for the fastest growing Medicare plan in Florida. And we've just been awarded the MTM contract for the largest Medicare plan in Puerto Rico. And to date, we have put 20,000 medication therapy management interventions through our platform. And this process works. So we've already demonstrated a 3-to-1 ROI for our Medicare client in Florida. That's $260 per patient, and this is just on the pharmacy cost. This does not include the total cost of care, that hospital readmission that might have occurred had we not intervened. So eventually we're going to get ROI on the total cost of care, but right now that is significant enough and has been very attractive to our prospective clients. We make money by licensing our software on a classic SaaS model per member per month. It has very high margins. And on our full service, we license the platform on that same model, SaaS model, but we also have a fee-for-service piece to pay for that pharmacist who intervenes. We have 3 primary markets: Medicare, Medicaid, and employer groups. Medicare, this is our bread and butter. This is where we are active today. Why? Because this is a regulated market. The Center for Medicare and Medicaid, CMS, requires every Medicare Part D plan out there to have an MTM program. They set the criteria for the types of patients that have to go into these programs. This was a $2 billion market. But recently, they changed the criteria. So now they want more patients in order to address this problem. They want more patients into the medication therapy management programs. And this has changed the $2 billion market to a $6 billion market for next year. Medicaid is coming along behind that. More states are starting to put MTM programs into their mix. And just 2 weeks ago, we were one of only 4 companies invited to participate in an MTM program for New Jersey Medicaid, one of only 4 companies to manage 2 million lives. So it shows you how big these programs can be. And we are just beginning to tap into the employer market. This is our team. I'm proud to say that everybody on the top line management team is a Vermonter. We've had to go outside the state for some of our additional expertise. And while we have a good footprint in Wisconsin, Florida, Puerto Rico, I'm sad to say that we don't yet work here in the state of Vermont. We aim to change that. Vermont's Medicaid does not have MTM yet. We want to change that. Hospitals in the state of Vermont are doing a pretty good job doing medication reconciliation before you leave the hospital and transition of care. But when you consider that medication-related issues are the #1 reason that people go back into the hospital after they've already left, doing MTM at a hospital could bring real value. And of course, the self-insured employers in the state of Vermont don't have MTM as an employee benefit yet. So, yes, we're very excited about the company. We're very excited about this space. And whenever an industry moves from $2 billion to $6 billion, that's exciting. But money aside, I want to stress that this is a clinical service. We are helping patients who desperately need this care. And that's the beauty of healthcare, right? There's win-win opportunities. But uniquely at Aprexis, we have the opportunity for win, 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 win. The patient wins, the payer wins, the government wins, and Aprexis wins. And when Aprexis wins, we can build more Vermont jobs, which is really important to us. So I thank Mose and everybody in Rutland for creating this program and inviting us to participate. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob, and the team at Aprexis. It was a pleasure working with them for the past 7 weeks. With that, I am going to introduce our next founder. Please help me welcome Kim Nace, co-founder of Brightwater Tools from Brattleboro, Vermont.
Good evening, and thank you all for having me. That's how the mic sounds, okay. Yeah, I'm really happy to be up here from Brattleboro, and this startup program, this accelerator, even in the short period of time we've been working with you, has already added a lot of value to my company. So we are Brightwater Tools. We're transforming waste to resources, and that's for the bathrooms of the future. In the 20th century, lots of polluting waters were discharged into our receiving bodies like lakes and rivers and streams, and the idea was the solution to pollution is dilution. This is the 21st century. We can't do that anymore. There are 8 billion people on the planet. The solution to pollution now is concentration. And as Peter Fisk from the National Alliance for Water Innovation says from the Department of Energy, any technology that can concentrate a high-strength wastewater is going to be in high demand in the future. That's us at Brightwater Tools. So why are we doing this? 1.2 trillion gallons of potable water is used every year in the United States to flush toilets. This water has been treated prior to being put into the toilet, and it is a huge waste in our overall system of water management. Additionally, what we flush down the toilet every day are nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Those are really beneficial nutrients that we need in agriculture, and in fact, every day, each one of us flushes enough nutrients down the toilet that we could grow wheat for a loaf of bread. Tonight, if you all use the restroom once, we will have collectively flushed away 50 loaves of bread, okay? So, additionally, there are other problems with our wastewater infrastructure. The American Society of Civil Engineers gives our infrastructure a D+ in the wastewater industry, and 15% of all the treatment plants around the country are either at or have exceeded their design capacity. That means they just can't take more wastewater. Well, we got our solution at Brightwater Tools from an old Vermont tradition of maple syruping. In the morning, farmers would often come out after a good freeze and take a big chunk of ice off the bucket, put it on the ground, and what's left in the bucket is a sweet sap, a more concentrated solution. So we are doing that. We're concentrating it. Where are we doing this? Where are we collecting this waste and concentrating it? It's called source separation, and we're doing it at the building scale. In buildings, we are separating gray water and toilet waste. The gray water is in your showers, your sinks, your washing machines, and that can go to the bottom of a building and be lightly treated and actually returned back into the building to be reused again. This is facilitated because we take the most pathogenic piece of wastewater, which is the toilet waste, and we bring it to the bottom of the building for the Brightwater Tools treatment train, and it is treated by our system, and then we have a liquid fertilizer product. So this is our technology. It's patented. The freeze concentrate I already mentioned is followed by a pasteurizer, which for EPA standards, we have to do that so that there are no pathogens left. And then we filter it through a carbon filtration system, and that takes out any pharmaceuticals you might be concerned about that you don't want to put into a concentrated, sanitized fertilizer product. So this is our beta unit. One of our early units is out at the University of Michigan. This is my co-founder and the CTO of our company, Abe Noe-Hayes. This unit is in operation now. It's an early unit, and it's processing about 50 liters of urine weekly. We're getting all the data in here, and I just want to point out the box near Abe's head. It's the remote monitoring and control system. So everything we do is cyber-enabled, and we can control it from Brattleboro rather than having to have an operator in a specific building. This is important because you don't want to have more people employed in that way. You want these distributed water infrastructure systems to be controlled in a simpler fashion. So our business is a B2B business. We are going to sell this product, this treatment train, to developers, people who are creating places to live and places to stay. It can be sold, each component can be sold individually if the owner of the building has specific needs for the fertilizer product, or as a complete treatment train. Developers are going to buy our treatment trains sort of like they would buy the solar panels that go on the roof of a development, or the heat pumps. So it'll be all packaged up, and they just have to say, yep, we want it, vacuum flush toilets, let's go. And I want to go back to that because I just want to remind the people that in Vermont right now, we are all talking a lot about building a lot of residential construction. Our system can be scaled down to 30 people per unit, or as high as 100, 500. And actually, we're spec'd in Europe to a community that's building 10,000 units of Blackwater separated systems. So the market for globally for green residential construction is $140 billion. Brightwater Tools can capture $315 million of that. And currently, we have been selling to people both in the United States and in Europe. Our beta units are going there. This 2025 is going to be a year of collecting data and validating our technology. And we have LOIs already secured there for about $1.5 million. Our runway is 10 months right now. We have about $47,000 that we spend monthly. And here's who we are. Like, Abe has been brought to Australia to speak. I've spoken in Chicago, lots of different conferences that we attend. And together, he and I have over 30 years of experience in this new and emerging field of wastewater resource recovery. We have a fabrication and research center down in Brattleboro, 10,000 square feet, plenty of room. And we also started a summit that we convene people from all around the world. That's actually happening in 2 weeks, who come and who are working, and they share their new innovations, their academic results, their industry experience. And this is our team in Brattleboro. We have actually hired a few more people to take a new photo soon. What about Vermont? Why? What's the impact here in Vermont? Well, we have already been bringing talented employees from other states in the country. They're moving here to work with us. That's bringing economic activity into the Brattleboro region. It's also that we are going to be using manufacturing within Vermont. We've already been meeting with a lot of different local manufacturers. And we are doing something really exciting and innovative in the wastewater sector. And that is going to be bringing a lot of recognition here, national and international recognition to our state. So the National Science Foundation is what kicked us off as a company. They have a small business innovation research program. They gave us $250,000, then they gave us $1 million, and they've given us another $200,000. And that's because they actually really believe that the technology that we're developing is going to have a really great and positive impact on our society. Currently, we're raising funds, and they will give us another $500,000. So $2 million, $2 million. So recently, we've had some good successes. We have found a lead investor, so that's a really exciting thing for us. We have our full treatment train down in Brattleboro operating right now. You can come down and see it. We'd love to show people what we're doing. We've just launched a new website, so that's another next step. And we've been in this program, and we also were in Launch VT in Burlington last spring, and both programs have been really, really critical to our development. And I want to give a shout out to Mose specifically because this program has been tailored to our company, and it's really allowed us to learn and grow and network locally, regionally, and nationally. So what I want you to remember as you leave this evening about my company is that the future of future for wastewater is not dilution, it is concentration. Just remember concentration. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Kim. You guys can scan this barcode to visit their website as well. The founders will be hanging out around after for everybody to mingle. I should mention that we received applications from all across the globe. It was very fortunate that we were able to find some of the most incredible teams locally as well, but we actually interviewed folks in 3 different continents. And I would like to thank Mayor Mike Dunges for taking part in selection as well. And with that, I will pass it over to our next founder. Please help me welcome Erdi Tak, all the way from Hong Kong, the co-founder of Calf OpenAI.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Erdi, the co-founder and CEO of Beethoven. So we are a smart assistant for language teachers that enables them to turn anything into a language lesson. And by anything, I say videos, news, stories, podcasts, music, whatever you can think of. And currently, we are being used by the language teachers in Columbia, Berkeley, Cambridge, and more than 20% of the top 500 universities globally. And you should see the way they compliment us, much better than my mom. And yeah, so why are they using us? Go back to the time when you were in the classroom, in a language classroom. I don't know if you have ever been, but generally it is boring. And it's not the teachers, it's the materials they have been using, right? So for the first time in history, now they can bring a news that happened yesterday, or a YouTube video, or a TikTok video that they found that is engaging to their classroom. And it will be adapted to their students' level in a way that the student will understand 90% of it, which is a sweet spot for language learning. How we do it? First, they bring us whatever they found. We extract all the knowledge points in terms of language, and we analyze its level. Then, if they want, we can tune it up or down to their students' level and create all the necessary exercises that they normally would do and then need to give up on their sleep. But now they can do it with a couple clicks. And during the program, we launched this new feature for them to score the writing, the essays of their students, and it will be able to give each student specific feedback and understand all their weaknesses so the teacher can concentrate on those weaknesses and the students will learn much faster. And during that, so you can see our launch, we joined at the end of September and then launched that feature. And this is our daily signed up users. It's really nice going up. That's what excites founders, right? And it's not just the daily signups, also our social media picked up in the last 7 weeks or so. Anyone using TikTok here? No TikTok? Oh, pull up your phones and then follow us. gener8tor. Our marketing team will love that. Okay, sure. So how do we make money? We charge $13.5 per teacher per month. And also for companies, language teaching companies, if they when they use our technology, we tell them give us $42 per 1,000 materials, and that's how we make money. It's Just recently, we reached to 20,000 educators, and this is more than 40% of them are from the US. The rest are globally scattered around. And we did it without spending $0 on paid ads, and we don't have any sales. So it is naturally picking up, and hopefully we will put more money in, then more users are going to come. And another thing, this is at the beginning of this year, we received this award from QS. QS is the company that ranks the universities. It's like #1 Harvard, #2 Oxford, and so on. They said gener8tor is the second best AI in education company, and #1 was Duolingo, for now. It's a huge market. It's like a really tremendously huge market. And the ones that we are targeting are 20 million English as a second language teachers market. And this is growing 17% per year. So just imagine. And our plan for next is to reach to 1 million annual recurring revenue. And the way we are going to do that is reaching out to 7,000 users, and they're going to pay us $13 per month, and the 12 months eventually will accumulate to 1 million annual recurring revenue. And the way we do that, we will target the US because most of our users are here, and that's why I am here today. And also, we will do partnership and word-of-mouth marketing so that we can spend less on marketing. This couldn't be done without this amazing team. It's like excellent educators, language educators, and AI experts that have been working in some public companies that only does language teaching. And we went to some of the best schools around the world, and that's just to brag about. And well, thank you so much. And we are gener8tor. We are going to bring good language learning experience all around the world to every student. Thank you.
Thank you to Erdi and his wife Jan for making the trip all the way to the US for this program. Hopefully they stay here much longer. They have been enjoying some of the local restaurants. I've been getting feedback every day. With that, please help me welcome our final founder for the day, Yulia, all the way from Massachusetts. Not all the way, it's almost there. But please help me welcome the co-founder, Yulia, for Skin Genius.
Hi, everyone. My name is Yulia. That's like Julia with a Y, and I'm the co-founder of Skin Genius. I'm going to start with good news. Good skincare that doesn't trigger allergies and sensitivities is out there. It's just really hard to find among the 4,300 brands that make it. Meet Sarah. She's a young professional, and like millions of other people, she has an allergy and sensitive skin. Sarah here is allergic to nuts and has to be particularly cautious of the products that come in contact with her skin. It took her 4 tries to find a good facial moisturizer, and she's still looking for a good cleanser. Sarah reads her ingredient labels, but because she's not a chemist, she ends up buying the wrong product more often than not, exposing her skin to harmful chemicals and wasting money. And Sarah's not alone. In fact, 35 million Americans with allergies and skin sensitivities share Sarah's problem. And some 65 million people have a known skin condition. And for them, the choice of the wrong product may not simply mean an irritation after the use or social embarrassment at a networking event because of a pimple. It may be an anaphylactic shock and hospitalization. So wouldn't it be better if Sarah and folks like her could find the right product on the very first try without the need to test them all on her own skin? That's why we're building Skin Genius, a solution that allows customers to find the right product faster, avoid unwanted skin effects, and save money. Think an esthetician in your pocket, available to you at any time, day or night, to provide skincare advice. To get her personalized recommendations, Sarah will fill out a simple skin quiz. Our algorithm will analyze Sarah's skin information and curate a list of products rooted in deep ingredient research, ranked from best to worst, specifically for Sarah's needs. And if she chooses to share with us the products that she has at home, already uses and loves, Skin Genius will curate a routine around them, further minimizing the risk of reactions. we offer a 3-tiered subscription plan. Given Sarah's monthly spend of $40, she will quickly make her money back and continue saving on unwanted purchases. Our additional revenue sources include referral partnerships, which will allow us to make up to 15% off of every sale happening on SkinGenius platform. SkinGenius is free for estheticians, which will allow them to further personalize their treatments and will allow us to tap into their existing network of patients and following. We target people with allergies, skin sensitivities, and existing skin conditions. And there's 100 million people like that in the United States alone. So if we end up capturing the entire market miraculously, that will create a $3 billion opportunity. We know it's not going to happen. So we're going after esthetician partnerships. An esthetician serves about 1,200 people per year. So if we tap into that network, that gives us an audience of 52 million people. And if at least a third of them convert, that's a $500 million opportunity for us. During the first week into the program, we released our alpha, and we're able to grow our user base 30 times. We're currently getting ready to release our beta to estheticians to test out the partnership strategy, and from there, we'll start building the mobile app that will allow us to scale this. And there's so many more ways to grow. We're currently exploring partnerships with beauty box providers, which will let us not only recommend products, but actually ship them to the customer's doorsteps. From there, we will release a B2B SaaS solution to skincare retailers, and eventually grow into other segments of the beauty market and become a preferred solution not only for skincare products, but also for body care products and cosmetics. And we have the right team to make it happen. With over 45 years of combined experience in aesthetics, software engineering, and marketing, we believe that we can build the new digital esthetician. Because we're not doing this alone, we have partnerships with estheticians, formulators, and beauty experts, and are confident in our science. So today, we're looking for mentors, connections to estheticians and beauty professionals, and of course, beta users. So if you find skincare challenging, interesting, or would just like to learn more, come talk to me after. But before I head off the stage, I would like to thank everyone for listening to this, because I'm the last one to present, and thank you to everyone for making this happen. It's been a phenomenal experience.
A big thanks, Julia, and thank you all for listening in. I'm going to take a moment to share a few quick updates, but having been a founder in the past and pitched on stages similar to this, I know it's not an easy job. So once again, a round of applause for our entire cohort. So here's a snapshot of the program, highlights what happened in the past 7 weeks, but I would like to note that all the effort and all the stats you see were done by the founders themselves. We were only there to assist them. But $600,000 were raised in the past 7 weeks between the 4 teams. 2 new jobs were created over the past 7 weeks. 2 new product lines were launched. We also had over $1 million in sales closed, as well as over 500,000 impressions, as you heard from Erdi, on TikTok. We also had our founders meet with over 60 mentors and investors. With that, I have a quick update here. I would like to announce, as you saw in the video, that I will be setting up and I have launched a $7 million venture capital fund known as RDF Ventures that will be incorporated right here in Rutland. This fund will assist us in supporting startups coming out of our accelerator program, both current cohort members as well as future cohort members, in addition to investing in promising entrepreneurs statewide. Thank you. I would like to thank the Vermont Economic Development Authority for placing their trust in me and essentially placing a contingent commitment of $3.5 million from the U.S. Treasury's SSBCI program as limited partner capital for the fund. And I will have more updates on that as we are speaking with additional LPs as well. I would also like to thank Vermont Community Foundation and Ken Merritt for all the support that they have provided me thus far, and more to come on that soon. Thank you. And lastly, before we all get to cast our votes, I would like to thank the support we have received from the Small Business Administration grant that we have received from the offices of former Senator Patrick Leahy, as well as Senator Peter Welch. Chamber Startup Rutland will be offering with the Hub Coworks a 1-year free lease to all the startups that have gone through our accelerator program, as well as up to $20,000 in startup support credits. This offer will be handed out, and the checks will be given to 2 of our Vermont-based companies today, as both the 2 out-of-state companies finalize their programs and local integration to be entering the market here as well. This will help with both local job creation as well as having startup presence right here in Rutland. And with that, we will all get to vote now. So please use your phone to scan the QR code. If you're unable to scan the QR code, you can go on menti.com, that is MENTI.com, and punch in the code 36771867 to vote for your favorite startup that you saw tonight. This Audience Choice Award is presented by the East Rise Credit Union, so a big thanks to the team there. And we'll give you guys a moment to place your votes.
This is where they said, Lyle, would you go out and entertain them for a couple minutes while they vote? So here's the entertainment. How am I doing so far? Okay. Go ahead and vote. I'm going to ask the following people to come up. Would Shayna Loisel come out again? And would Russ Marson come up? And would Chris Halnan, the commercial lender for East Rise Credit Union, please come up? I want to give a big shout out to East Rise. They have donated $5,000, which will be the People's Choice or Audience Choice funding that you are voting on right now. And I am stalling to find out how long it's going to take to get the answer to that question. So we're going to close down the voting in just a minute. I see people with their phones up, though, so I'm not going to stop talking until... What's the Wi-Fi? I broke a clicker. Do I know what the Wi-Fi is? Paramount something. I don't... Nobody back there knows either. Does anybody know the Wi-Fi? Tom? Say it again.
Stage with a capital S, 30, the number, and then exclamation mark.
She has an accent. I love that. In my Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm stalling. So, Chris is here. Chris, where are you? I also have hearing aids. I can't hear anything. So, would somebody come out here and save me? Okay. This is Chris Halnan from East Rise Credit Union. Chris, I don't know if you have your speech ready or not. Would you like to say a few words to the audience or not?
I'm good.
He says he's good. Okay. So we also have 2 checks. Maybe we could bring out those 2 checks now that are the $20,000 packages. This is a unique opportunity for all the teams, quite frankly, to have space in the Hub Coworks, as you heard. And the remainder of that funding can be used for marketing purposes or equipment or other things that they might need. The only thing is they need to agree to work out of Rutland periodically, and we are glad that they are willing to do that. So Russ is bringing out a check and not showing everybody what the answer is, and Shayna is bringing out a check and not showing everyone what the answer is. Where's Russ? There's Russ. And at this point, why don't you... I got to do some orchestration here. One moment, please. Can you tell we didn't practice this part? Okay. Would the 4 teams like to come back out? Let's give them a nice round of applause. The 4 team leaders, come on back out here. This is happening in Rutland, people. All right. Come right out in the middle. Right out in the middle. Right out here. Outstanding. Okay. And there's more to come. We're going to be doing this again. We'll be entertaining other teams at the Hub Coworks. We're excited about that. And... Mose, where are you? How am I doing? Are we getting a result? Don't tell. Okay, are we getting a result from the mentor meter thing?
We have it, and it's being written in.
Oh,
It's
we're
live results, real
we're
time.
actually writing out the check in the back right now. Okay.
I'll go run and grab it.
So we would like to congratulate the 2 teams that are here already in Vermont, the teams that will be accessing the Hub Co-works, we hope pretty much immediately. So Shayna, if you would unveil the first check for $20,000. Ladies and gentlemen, help us in congratulating Brightwater Tools. And the second winner tonight of the $20,000 package, Russ, if you would help, please, drum roll. Aprexis, all right. Now, as we said, though, we're not going to be disingenuous. If they decide they want to come to Vermont and work from Vermont, they get $20,000 too. So it's just a little, could you please come and join us? So we hope that that will happen. They are on their way already. They are skyrocketing. You see what's happened in a very short period of time, not just in the 7 weeks they're with us. They've been working on this for a long time. But hard work pays off, and that's happening with all 4 of these teams. Now, we have something written on that check?
Yes, we do.
Okay, all right. So this was from you, the People's Choice Award, the Audience Choice Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Halnan from East Rise Credit Union will present a check for $5,000 to
Brightwater Tools.
Brightwater Tools. And another shout out to our sponsors right here. I would also like to thank Roots, the restaurant, for the great food that is back here. Let's give them a round of applause. And I have to go out and buy a clicker, and we would invite you now, because momentarily this screen is going to go up. There is still a lot of food back here, and the bar is open. We would love to have you come and congratulate all 4 of these teams. We thank you very much for coming tonight. We're going to do this again. Look forward to that. Thanks for coming. Well done. Well done. We'll go this way. All right.